All right, welcome back. Today, now we are going to be talking about reliability pillar, and this is essentially to ensure and figure out how reliable your ecosystem is and how you can make it robust, right? So, basically, these are your design principles, and let's talk about each one of them in detail. So the first one being scale horizontally to increase aggregate system availability. So this is pretty much self-explanatory, yes and no. So when we read this, this would mean that you scale it in a way that you're able to ensure there's no single point of failure. Yes, but at the same time, there's another point which many people don't talk about is going micro, uh, which basically essentially states that try and create a system that is loosely coupled or decoupled in a way that the blast radius is low as much as possible, and you are able to tackle and you know provide frequent updates as we spoke about in the operational pillar, where you want to do quick frequent updates, and this is how you'll be able to do it by going micro. So that's one quick way to do that, right? And of course, by doing so, you would be removing single point of failure in your ecosystem. This is critical to ensure that your ecosystem is robust enough uh, for any eventuality, right? So, what are the other design principles? The other four basically are stop guessing capacity, try and don't under provision or over provision your ecosystem. Uh, Stop guessing capacity. Use Try and utilize the elasticity offered by the cloud providers and the cloud platform. Make most of it. So that's what we say about when we say stop guessing capacity. Next is manage change and automation. Basically, is to reduce human intervention again. So that's about that. And of course, all said and done, you have your SOPs in place. But if you don't test your recovery procedures, come the day when there is an issue, you might face a problem where your recovery procedures are not working, right? So that's where you do your DR drills. You have a DR in place, but if you don't test out your DR when you need it, you might have some concerns. And of course, try and automate the entire recovery process from failure as much as possible. So this is another critical aspect of it. So quickly to summarize, what are the best practices and its enablers? Um, Ensure, think about the foundation for reliability. So many people would not think about it and give it a miss while planning for building a robust solution. So very first thing is from the foundation. Think about your AWS service limits. If you're planning to scale your infrastructure to 10 instances at a max, auto scaling it, and your soft limit is at 5, you might have concerns when your utilization increases. You might not be able to get all the required resources, right? So ensure that you have an overview of the AWS service limits whenever you're planning and working on your ecosystem. Try and use AWS Trusted Advisor as much as possible for enterprise accounts, enterprise support accounts, because that's a service that is available, and make most of it. Another one that I specifically mentioned is about AWS VPC and subnets. This being said is about to ensure that your foundation is set right when you set the VPCs and subnets, both from reliability, performance, operations, and cost perspective. This is something which is applicable across. Try and ensure that you are future planning on how you utilize your VPC and subnets. The next one is going to be talking about change management, on how reliable your solutions are, and that is very critical. So the tools that you could probably use are AWS Config, AWS CloudWatch, and CloudTrail to see, track, monitor, analyze your changes, and at the same time bring in a process, a protocol in your teams to try and work this out for and use these tools to implement change management. And in case of a failure, you need to have a failure management system as well. So try and use CloudFormation and CloudWatch to automate that, automate the recovery. And of course, wherever possible, use AWS managed services. This is not just reliability, it's also from operations and performance perspective, where it is advised to use AWS managed services, which an example again is using uh, RDS instead of hosting your SQL onto your EC2 server. So this way you're ensuring that managed services can recover from failure automatically, and it is done by the cloud provider, AWS in this case. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So quick summary of this reliability pillar that we just spoke about is focus on a strong foundation, be aware of what the limits are and where you can grow and what needs to be tackled. Next is go micro and not monolith, reduce your blast radius as much as possible to make your solution robust and reliable. Use managed services as much as possible. This helps you to reduce operational costs and increase reliability. And always plan for failure, right? So that in case of failure, you are able to manage it. This is across all pillars as well, right? If you have any questions, reach out. We'll be happy to help. The next pillar that we're going to talk about is going to be performance efficiency pillar. See you then. Thank you.